is your American dream?
Well, for myself, I think my American dream is to just be able to do what I love doing on television, just bringing news and information to people while raising an amazing family with peace and comfort and joy in their hearts, to be able to, have a house, have property, have maybe even a business on the side where I'm just enjoying my best life, if you will.
Yeah.
And for America, I just pray for peace, for so many levels, because there's just so much unrest, destruction, discrimination going around in this country. Peace would solve a lot of that. Just peace amongst people in their communities, peace amongst the different races, peace among Democrats and Republicans. There's so many aspects of peace.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Ow! Hello, everybody! I hope you had a great weekend! I was just bringing Brad's briefcase into his office for him. I do all this kind of important stuff as a Spar and Bernstein intern. The problem is, it's kind of big and heavy and I'm just a little groundhog. Well, anyway, I am going to take a break to let you know that now is the time we have all been waiting for. It's time for Brad Show Live, starring Brad Bernstein. Enjoy! All right. Can someone please help me with this? Hello? This is a real workout.
Squad up, everybody. It is the middle of the summer, July 10th, 2023. This is Brad Show Live. My name is Brad Bernstein. Let's say hello to the squad quickly. Jessica Leamy, squad up. How are you? Dion, squad up. How are you? Jumanji Bell, squad up, family. And Tenyu Campbell saying blessings. Nixta G, better team. Thank you very much, Nixta. We have a good team. Tay Solomon, blessings. Squad up, Tay. Tracy Haynes Thompson, good afternoon, squad. Good afternoon to you as well. And our first pre-schmooze question of the day comes from God's Warrior. What to do if I filed for a child from 2019 before I became a United States citizen, and I've now been a citizen since last October, and my under 13-year-old can't get here as yet? Well, if you filed an I-130 visa petition and it's already been approved, then contact the National Visa Center, send a photocopy of your naturalization certificate, and upgrade the case. When your child comes, your child's going to become an automatic U.S. citizen. If you filed the I-130 and it has not yet been approved, please notify the service center where your visa petition is pending that you have become a U.S. citizen by sending them a photocopy of your naturalization, and then that should hopefully speed up the processing of your case. Unfortunately, it'd be nice if immigration, one service center knew that another service center gave you your naturalization, but hey, we're in the richest country in the world. Why would we expect two different government agencies, two different offices in the same government agency to actually speak to each other? That's probably asking way too much. So that's why you need to do that. But it would make sense that they would already know that, but they don't. So that's what you have to do. And hopefully that'll speed up your case. And Jessica Leamy, with some really good instructions. If you all want to ask Brett a question on live, call now to secure your spot. Fantastic comment, Jessica Leamy. She is making sure that everybody knows exactly what they need to do. We have open lines right now. If you call 1-800-529-5465, if you're new to our show, I will be saying hello to a few more of our family and friends who watch us consistently every week. And we will also be schmoozing about the latest news in immigration. And then I'm going to be taking your calls live and trying to solve and answer your immigration questions. So very good comment there, Jessica Leamy. Thank you very much. Cynthia Wallace saying hi. And Sophia Gray, good evening, squad. Jumanji with another pre-schmooze question of the day. Please, can someone with stamp extension due to pending I-751 be a co-sponsor? The answer is yes. With a pending I-751, you are a lawful resident. You are eligible to file and sign an I-864. You absolutely can do it. Also, another pre-schmooze question of the day comes from Jesus Trejo. I am currently going through removal proceedings, cancellation, removal, and immigration court. My wife is a U.S. citizen, and my 3 kids are U.S. citizens. Could getting a divorce affect my case? Yes, it will affect your case, because I presume the way you're going to get your green card is through your spouse, not your children, unless your children are over 21. So yes, getting a divorce will affect your case, absolutely. And God's Warrior, I hope everyone had a great weekend, or I had a great weekend, or whoever God's Warrior is talking to. Let's say God's Warrior is talking to everybody. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Thank you very much, God's Warrior. And Javel Finnegan saying, squad up, how are you? Abbott Teo saying, squad up, Brad. Thank you very much. Dion Reed with a pre-comment of the day, squad up to the greatest immigration lawyer that exists here on planet Earth. None other than the real big man, Brad Bernstein and team. Thank you very much, Dion. I couldn't say it any better than how you said it. I don't even think I would actually change a word. Let me see. Squad up to the greatest immigration lawyer that exists here on planet Earth. None other than the real big man, Brad Bernstein. Yeah, absolutely, Dion. I would not change a word. As a matter of fact, I think that's going to be a pre-comment of the day and a comment of the day at the end. That was such a great comment. Rogjay, what up? How are you, Rogjay? Genevieve Brown, blessings. And Dion Reed saying, squad up to all the squaddies to the bestest immigration show. Thank you very much. And Amora Desiree saying, squad up, Brad. How are you? Car, bless up. And who else we got here? Paula saying, good day, Brad. And that's kind of all we got here. And Car just sending some love. All right, we're going to get to the rest of your immigration questions. Leave them in the comment section, and I will get to them as the show is progressing. Right now, I do have to remind everybody, we do have open telephone lines. So if you call right now, you will get in our queue. We have about 4 more open lines, and I'm going to be answering your immigration questions in about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes. So you call right now, 1-800-529-5465 internationally. It's +1 212-227-8933. We will be scrolling that number at the bottom of the screen for the entire show. So if you forget the number for any reason, it will be scrolling at the bottom. Also, that telephone number, people always go, well, Brad, how do I contact you? It's the same telephone number, 1-800-529-5465 internationally. It's +1 212-227-8933. You can also go to our website at www.lawsb.com. If you go to our website at www.lawsb.com, you can leave a text message, and we will contact you directly through our website by text. That's how everybody likes to communicate these days. All right, we're ready to schmooze. Let's do it. I think we're going to do it. Perhaps we will do it. All right. So on Friday, July 7th, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security announced the implementation. That's really funny. I saw I did this. I was just drinking some Brad juice, Brad Squad water / coffee in my cup here. And I had it all over my face. I didn't realize we were coming back so fast. I'm laughing now. All right. So on Friday, July 7th, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security announced the implementation of new Family Reunification Parole Processes for Colombia, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. The new process, which formally started today, July 10th, it is for nationals from Colombia, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, whose family members are United States citizens or lawful permanent residents and who have an approved I-130 visa petition filed by a United States citizen or LPR, lawful permanent resident family member. Qualifying beneficiaries must be outside the United States, meet all requirements, including screening and vetting and medical requirements, and must not have already received an immigrant visa. So basically, if you have a family member that you filed for, and that family member is a citizen of Colombia, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, after their I-130 visa petition is approved, they will be allowed to come to the United States on a parole to work and live here while waiting out their green card. The process begins with the Department of State issuing an invitation to the petitioning U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident family member whose Form I-130 on behalf of the Colombian citizen, the El Salvadoran citizen, the Guatemalan citizen, or the Honduran citizen has been approved. The invited petitioner can then initiate the process by filing a request on behalf of their family member and the other eligible family members that are derivative, their children, spouses, etc., to be considered for advanced travel authorization and parole into the United States. And this new process allows for parole only on a discretionary case-by-case and temporary basis upon a demonstration of urgent humanitarian reasons or significant public benefit, as well as a demonstration that the beneficiary warrants a favorable exercise of discretion. Individuals paroled into the United States under these processes will generally be considered for parole for up to 3 years and will be eligible to request employment authorization, as I previously mentioned, while they wait for their immigrant visas to become available. And if their immigrant visas are not available after that 3-year period, I am sure that they will be able to extend it indefinitely until that visa petition becomes current. And on June 28th, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services launched a new self-service tool allowing benefit requesters and their attorneys and accredited representatives to reschedule biometric service appointments before the date of the appointment. So you have a biometric appointment, you can't make it, you can now go online to make a new appointment. You don't have to call USCIS anymore and be on hold with an operator and go through a whole story. It's so much easier now. I wish they did this years ago. Welcome to the 21st century, USCIS. USCIS Director M. Jadu said, "We are working steadily to improve the customer experience by designing and delivering services in a manner that people of all abilities can access." I wouldn't say you're working steadily. I would say you're working slowly, but better late than never. This should have been done years ago, but at least now you can reschedule a simple biometric appointment by going online. As I said previously, benefit requests and accredited representatives could only request to reschedule a biometric service by calling the USCIS contact center. So now with this new tool, those individuals who have or create a USCIS online account can reschedule most requests for biometric service appointments without having to call USCIS. And on Thursday, July 6th, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned its own 2003 decision in Grutter versus Bollinger. It hasn't been more than 20 years, exactly 20 years, and they completely overruled their prior decision from 20 years earlier. And what did they overrule? They overruled that affirmative action in college admissions is illegal and now bars all universities from considering race in admission decisions. The court ruled that affirmative action programs at the University of North Carolina and Harvard University violate the Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution and are therefore unlawful. The vote was 6-3 in the UNC case and 6-2 in the Harvard case, in which liberal Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was recused. Now, it was basically liberals on one side and the conservatives that Donald Trump put into place on the other side. The decision was hailed by prominent conservatives who say the Constitution should be colorblind. Donald Trump called it a great day for America. Liberals, however, condemned the ruling, saying affirmative action is a key tool for remedying historic race discrimination. Michelle Obama, the first Black First Lady, said it wasn't perfect, but there's no doubt that it helped offer new ladders of opportunity for those who, throughout our history, have too often been denied a chance to show how fast they can climb. President Joe Biden called the decision a severe disappointment, adding that his administration would provide guidance about how colleges could maintain diversity without violating the new U.S. Supreme Court ruling. The court effectively overturned a 2003 ruling in Grutter versus Bollinger. That ruling said 20 years ago, it wasn't like 150 years ago, this is 20 years ago, in which it said race could be considered as a factor in the admissions process because universities had a compelling interest in maintaining a diverse campus. In doing so, the court scrapped decades of precedent, including a ruling dating to 1978 that upheld a limited consideration of race in university admissions to combat historic discrimination against Black people and other minority groups. When I first went to law school, one of the first things we learned in law school was the theory of stare decisis, that precedent matters, that once a decision has been made by a judge, that is the decision for eternity. You don't have to keep going back and arguing the same thing over and over again. And here we are 20 years after a Supreme Court, previous generation of a Supreme Court 20 years ago, said that affirmative action has a role in our society to maintain a diverse campus. They say, nope, it's illegal. Murad Awade, executive director of the New York Immigration Coalition, wrote in a statement, denying colleges the right to create intentionally diverse student bodies will be a detriment not only to the students who will be denied a real opportunity to enroll at their colleges of choice, but also to the many students who will lose out on the shared experience of navigating cultural and racial differences in an increasingly connected world. The ultimate impact of today's decision won't just hurt students of color, but will also reverberate with disastrous consequences throughout our entire society. It's going to hurt everybody, because part of going to school is learning to deal with the world. And the world is not one color, and the world is not one religion, but the world is multiple religions and multiple colors and multiple people from different backgrounds and cultures, and it's a learning experience to be able to learn from each other and also deal with each other. And we're going to lose that here in the United States, my opinion. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court ruling has now made it even more difficult for international students to be admitted to U.S. colleges and universities. Affirmative action policies have historically played a role in fostering diversity on campuses, and without them, the student body may become more homogenous. International students who tend to bring unique perspectives and experiences may find it increasingly challenging to secure admission as competition intensifies. The ruling may also impact financial aid opportunities for international students. Affirmative action policies have been instrumental in promoting diversity and inclusivity, ensuring that students from marginalized backgrounds have access to financial aid programs. A potential shift away from these policies could limit the availability of financial resources. And affirmative action has historically provided a pathway for first-generation immigrant students to overcome systemic barriers and gain admission to the most esteemed educational institutions. By considering an applicant's background and experiences, these policies have sought to create opportunities for historically disadvantaged groups. And that's really the biggest takeaway, in my opinion, because where affirmative action helps the most is at the most selective universities in the United States, the top 50 universities. After that, I think, you get past 100 of the top 150 universities, almost anyone, they're happy to take anybody at that point. So I think most people can get into most people can get into most universities. But it's at the selective top, the Ivy Leagues and the tier right below the Ivy Leagues, that's going to really hurt people from minority groups. The curtailment of affirmative action policies also is going to hinder first-generation immigrant students' ability to access higher education. These students often face unique challenges such as language barriers and limited financial resources. And without the support provided by affirmative action, the already difficult path to higher education may become even more arduous for those individuals. And affirmative action policies have been instrumental in creating a more representative and diverse student body, fostering an environment where students from various backgrounds can thrive and learn from one another's experiences, as I discussed. Hopefully, higher education institutions will explore alternative approaches and initiatives to ensure that access to higher education remains equitable and diverse. And in Florida, SB 718 went into effect on Saturday, July 1st, a little under 2 months after Governor Ron DeSantis signed it. In that time, videos of empty agricultural fields and protesting truck drivers have filled social media. Stories of immigrant and mixed status families leaving the state have spread across news media, and demonstrations and town halls have been held to call attention to the impact this law is having and will continue to have on the state's agricultural, construction, hospitality, retail, and various administrative industries. Together, these economies contribute about a quarter of the state's gross domestic product and depend on almost 400,000 undocumented workers to function. DeSantis was the primary sponsor of the legislation, which, in its most extreme preliminary form, proposed much more aggressive punishments for those who housed undocumented immigrants, transported them around the state, and employed them. It builds on DeSantis's growing anti-immigrant persona and policy platform to show what the Republican Party's ideal immigration policy really would look like. But even some Republican state lawmakers who in early June appeared to try to backpedal on voting for the legislation have admitted that a main point of the law is to spark panic. At a meeting hosted by Hispanic pastors in Hialeah, I'm pronouncing that name right, Hialeah, State Representative Alina Garcia, who is a Republican, told an assembly that this is a bill basically to scare people from coming to the state of Florida. And I think it's done its purpose. And I think it's done its purpose too. People are scared. People call me on the phone all the time. And I'll tell you, the state may be able to fine U.S. workers, but you as an immigrant, you don't have to worry about Ron DeSantis deporting you, because the governor has no authority to deport you. Only Joe Biden has authority to deport you. So they can pick you up as an undocumented immigrant. They can't charge you with a crime as being an undocumented immigrant. And if they call Department of Homeland Security to get you, probably they wouldn't. It's my opinion. But it's still going to have far-reaching effects in all of Florida. It's because this law is very, very, very wide-ranging. The bulk of it deals with how employers with 25 or more employees use E-Verify to hire new workers. So E-Verify, that's the federal system used to confirm whether employees are permitted to work in the U.S. And it's been around for a while, but it's not usually enforced. So this law imposes financial penalties to employers. Business owners would be fined $1,000 a day for each undocumented person hired when not permitted. And the state could suspend an employer's business license if they're caught. So it's big business. Any employer with over 25 people, that's going to be a problem. The law also enhances human trafficking and smuggling penalties to make those second-degree felonies punishable by a $10,000 fine and years in prison. And it invalidates driver's licenses issued to undocumented immigrants from other states. And there's 19 states and Washington, D.C. that offer these kind of licenses. And it cuts funding to in-state organizations, jurisdictions, or groups that issue their own forms of ID to undocumented immigrants. And SB 1718 also contains provisions for Florida hospitals that accept Medicaid to collect the legal status of patients, calculate the cost of health care for people lacking legal status, and report those to the state. Jessica Ramirez, who works with the Farm Workers Association of Florida Labor and Immigrants' Right organization, told Vox they spent the last month talking directly to farm and construction workers, shooting down rumors of what exactly the law does and doesn't do, and dispelling some of the misinformation. Ramirez said there were rumors that if you were undocumented and tried to withdraw money from the bank, you wouldn't be able to do it anymore. We heard that from some people who were worried that they would be deported if they went to the hospital. All of this is false. But she said they are urging people, if they go to a hospital and I ask a question about their citizenship on a form, simply not to answer it. And since the law was signed and its specifics became more widely known, some truck drivers have boycotted the state, and protests have disrupted its agricultural and construction industries. The goal of these movements is similar: to show the financial effects the new law will have on the state's economy. Ramirez says she's also fielding requests from Florida's business community, regular citizens, people who rely on immigrant labor. Ramirez said they've also seen children, teenagers with anxiety and fear and depression because they're scared of the law, worried about being separated from their parents or another family member. And Ramirez and others also see a political side effect of this new age in Florida. Many of those fearful mixed status families have been in Florida for 20 or 30 years, enough time for American-born children to have reached voting age. Ramirez says, I think that people will understand that if we don't change political leadership, those in power are going to continue to treat us like this, and we'll continue to use people for their own ends. And U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services celebrated Independence Day, July 4th this year, by welcoming more than 5,500 new citizens and more than 180 naturalization ceremonies between June 30th and July 7th. USCIS said in a statement that these ceremonies demonstrate the agency's commitment to welcoming immigrants and promoting the benefits of U.S. citizenship for all who are eligible. In 2022, USCIS welcomed 974,000 new United States citizens. And so far in 2023, USCIS has welcomed 588,900 new U.S. citizens through June 7th. So if that continues, they're going to make more than 1 million new U.S. citizens this year. Every July 4th, we celebrate the day the Second Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence in 1776, declaring that the 13 American colonies regarded themselves as a new nation, the United States of America, and are no longer part of the British Empire. USCIS Director M. Jadoo said, promoting citizenship and making the naturalization process accessible to all who are eligible is a beautiful extension of many ideals that birthed our nation 247 years ago. This holiday is always a special opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to the USCIS mission and to welcome new citizens as they begin their American journey. This summer, USCIS is highlighting the importance of civics and citizenship with a series of events. Civic season began with a special ceremony on World Refugee Day and will end with the fiscal year 2023 Citizenship and Integration Grants Awards announcements. Congratulations to all of the new U.S. citizens, all 588,000 of you this year, and the ones that are going to come up towards the end of the year, more than 1 million. And that, folks, is our schmooze of the day. Before we get into our meat and potatoes, which is me answering your immigration questions, I want to tell you about a Spar and Bernstein success story. I want to tell you a little bit about Larry. A few weeks ago, during our Getting Answers to Your Immigration Questions segment, I got a thank you call from Larry, whose wife worked with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein to assist her with getting her green card. And even though Larry and his spouse are located in Kansas City, Missouri, Spar and Bernstein worked with her virtually using video chat, telephones, emails. We got all her paperwork filed for her in Missouri, and she received her green card in just 5 months. Recently, they went for her citizenship interview, and she then attended her oath ceremony and officially became a United States citizen. Let's watch.
I don't have a question, but I have a thank you.
Oh, really?
You helped my wife get her green card.
Great.
After your office filed, she got her green card 5 months after you guys filed. Just recently, she did her citizen ceremony. So now she's a citizen.
Congratulations. And how is it working with the firm?
Oh, it was great. I mean, you guys did all the paperwork, even though we're in Missouri, and it was so simple. We didn't have much because it was just us here, but, you know, it didn't take much. We went for our interview, and the interview was more of a discussion. Little questions, and we just talked. She got through the first time, and her citizenship interview went by so easy.
Well, that's fantastic news. I thank you. I mean, I wasn't expecting somebody to wait on hold 45 minutes to thank me. So that was extraordinarily nice of you. You're certainly a gentleman. And of course, I think what was really nice of you to point out is that you are in Kansas City, Missouri. You did not come to New York. We did not go to Kansas City, Missouri. And we were able to represent you virtually, by telephone, sending you emails, and everything worked out great, right?
Oh, yes, everything. The payment plan, it worked great for us. It was just, everything was right on time. My wife told me to call and thank you because she's working right now.
All right, well, this is all saved on YouTube and Facebook, so you can show your wife later. Thank you very much, Larry. Congratulations to you and your wife. And thank you very much for calling and holding for those 45 minutes to thank me and tell the entire squad what a wonderful work we did. I'm happy for two reasons. One, I'm always happy to hear that you were satisfied with our work, but I'm equally or probably even more joyful to know that everything worked out for you and your family. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Larry. All right. Let's go do it. Meat and potatoes. You got immigration questions. I've got your answers. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to go to Anthony in the Bronx. Anthony, how are you? Hi, Anthony. Anthony, if you could listen to your phone live and not the video feed on your phone. But live. Anthony. All right, Anthony's got to get organized there. Let's go to Kevin in Atlanta. Kevin. Kevin also needs to be organized. Let's go to James in Atlanta. James. One of those days. James needs to be organized too. All right, folks. If you are on hold, listen to your phone, not our show, because the show is 20, 30 seconds behind what's coming out of my mouth live. That's why we're having this delay. Let's try this all over again. Anthony in the Bronx, how are you? Vinny in Denver, how are you? Vinny?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Ah, finally, somebody. Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
How can I help you? Vinny, how can I help you?
Yeah. So so what I'm saying is, sir, basically, yeah, thank you so much for giving the opportunity to talk to you, sir. I have a question. So can I start my question?
Vinny, it's your dime. We're all here.
Can I ask my question, sir?
Vinny, we're all on pins and needles waiting for your question. What is it?
Yes. So, yes, my first question is, my first question
Vinny,
is, my son is aging out.
Vinny, stop now. You're listening to the feed.
23.
You're listening to the feed. You have to listen to your phone only. Shut off the feed and listen to our phone. Spar and Bernstein team, make sure that people who are on hold know this. Because this is awful. I have to put Vinny on hold now. Team, listen to me. Squad, listen to me. If you are on hold, there are 12 people on hold right now. If you are on hold, do not listen to the show. Listen to your phone, because I'm going to say hello. And if you're listening to the show, you're going to be 30 seconds behind. And we have now wasted 5 minutes of doing nothing because we're not following along. Okay, so let's try one more time. Anthony in the Bronx.
Hello.
Hi, Anthony.
Hello.
Hi, Anthony.
Hello.
Hi, Anthony.
Hello.
Anthony.
I can't hear you.
I hear you fine.
Yeah, this is Anthony.
You hear me? All right, let's try one more time. Kevin in Atlanta.
Listening to the show.
Hello.
Hi, Kevin. Kevin? All right. Namaste, namaste, namaste. James in Atlanta.
Hello,
James in
Brad.
Indianapolis.
Hello.
James?
Hello.
All right. People are not hearing me.
Hello.
All right. People are not hearing me, Jill.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, you hear me? Are you hearing me through your phone or are you hearing me through the show?
I can't hear you, but if you can hear me, my question is this. I see you talking, but I'm not hearing you.
All right. We were going to get
You
this.
can hear me. Let me ask the question.
All right. We're going to get this all fixed. All right. We're going to get this all fixed. Let's go do our Bradification right now. I don't know if this is because of Meta, because we got knocked off of Meta. I'm not sure what's happening, but we're going to figure this out right now. But in the meantime, we're going to go to our Bradification. And before we go to our Bradified Marriage, we're going to get this figured out. The Washington Post published an article earlier this year titled "The States Where You're Most and Least Likely to Marry a Local." It includes fascinating data about not only interstate, but also international marriages in the United States. Here are some of the numbers. 12.4% of Americans marry someone from another country. That's up from 6.3% in 1980. We last reached those heights nearly in 1900 when 12.1% of Americans married someone from another country. About a fifth of international marriages involve a partner from Mexico. Germany, the Philippines, Canada, and the UK also supply a significant number of American spouses. Mexican marriages dominate most of the Western United States. Canadian marriages, unsurprisingly, dominate the northern border: Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Michigan, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts. In Alaska, by contrast, German marriages dominate. That's not too surprising when you think about it. Alaska is a military country, and we've got bases in Germany. So these statistics mean that more and more people in the United States will be applying for green cards through marriage. And in order to qualify for a green card through marriage, you and your spouse will need to pass an immigration marriage interview to prove the union is real or bona fide. This often results in a Stokes interview when the couple is separated by an immigration officer and asked questions about their marriage to see if their answers match up. I will always tell people that it's important for a couple to study and prepare for the Stokes interview because it can be difficult for even the most in love of couples to pass. So we play a game we call Bradified Marriage, where we ask couples walking down the street questions similar to those asked at a Stokes interview to see how they will do. Today, our correspondent, Yonathan Elias, tests Caroline and Gord visiting from Canada. Let's see how they do.
What's up, Brad Squad? It's your boy Yonathan Elias out here in the streets of New York. Now, as you know, when someone petitions for their spouse's green card, the immigration officers are going to take the couple, put them in separate rooms, and ask them questions to make sure their relationship is a bona fide marriage. Now, these questions could be hard even for the closest couple. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get people on the streets and see if these partners can pass the test. Now, USCIS usually calls this a Stokes interview, but here at Brad Show Live, we like to call it Bradified Marriage. I have my friends from Canada, right? Okay, let everybody know your name.
My name is Gord.
My name's Caroline.
And who's gonna get the green card?
I'm gonna get the green card.
I like it, competitive. So we're gonna have you go first, so you can go stand right over there. Don't listen, okay? No cheating. First question, how long have you guys been together?
34.
Okay, there we go.
It's 39 years.
Okay. Where was your first kiss?
Oh, jeez. That was a little while ago, yeah. I would say at her apartment, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where was your first kiss?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know. Let's say at a friend's house.
Okay. What TV show are you watching together right now?
We are watching Ozark, Shameless.
Ooh, I love those shows.
Those are the two
That's
main
perfect.
ones, yeah.
Ooh, they're good shows.
A couple of them, Ozark, Shameless. We'll go with those two.
There you go. Does your partner read before they go to sleep at night?
Yes.
Every night.
Okay. Oh.
Every night.
Smart, guys. Okay. What kind of cake did you have at your wedding?
Wedding cake? Yeah.
And I like that.
White cake, I believe.
Okay. Who cooks more often?
Oh, my wife.
Hands down.
Yeah. I'm good at breakfast, but that's as far as it goes.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Who cooks more often?
Me.
What internet provider do you use?
Rogers.
Rogers.
Who takes out the garbage?
Me.
He does.
Who pays the bills?
She does.
Oh.
I do.
And lastly, what are your in-laws' names?
Henri and Monique.
Barbara and Gord.
Okay, and what are your parents' names?
Gord and Barbara.
Monique and Henry.
Okay. Do you guys think you guys passed?
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing was how long we've been together was kind of tricky.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the question and
Okay.
you have to say the answer at the same time.
okay.
Okay? Okay. How long have you been together?
39.
I think it's, so
Been
did you
married
say,
36.
Oh. Okay, yeah, all right, I was thinking marriage, but that's even closer. Okay, 36.
yeah. Where was your first kiss?
At a friend.
Your apartment, I said. Your apartment.
Okay.
Yeah. At least we know at someone's place, right? Now, what TV show are you watching or shows are you watching together right now?
Shameless
Ozark
and
and
Ozark.
Shameless.
There you go. Y'all definitely got that. Okay. Does she read before she goes to sleep at night?
Yes.
Every night.
Yep. All right. Now, what kind of cake did you have at your wedding?
Wedding
White.
cake.
Oh. Wedding cake. Yeah. Okay. Good. Fair enough.
I mean,
It was
Yeah,
white.
It was
wedding
white
cake.
in it.
Yeah.
It was white icing.
yeah. Now, who cooks more often?
Me.
Yeah. we all knew that one. He said he only does breakfast. Yeah.
It's a barbecue.
For himself.
Ooh.
I'll take care of the grill. Yes.
Okay, that's okay. That's good. Okay, now what internet provider do you use?
Rogers.
Yeah, I love when you guys are in sync. It feels good, right? Who takes out the garbage?
I
Gord
do.
does.
Okay, who pays the bills?
I
She
do.
does.
Now, what are her parents' names?
Henry and
Monique.
There. Woo-hoo! Yeah, I know. Are you French? Ooh. Okay, now what are his parents' names?
Barbara and Gord.
I listen. I'm giving y'all a 10. I think they passed. How do you guys feel? I think this deserves a nice kiss. All right. Oh, yeah. Listen, this was awesome. Thank you guys so much. And congratulations, you guys are green card holders now.
We both made it.
Yeah.
We made it. We passed.
All right.
Don't take the trash.
Yeah, right.
All right. So you have to be prepared for your green card through a marriage interview. Spar and Bernstein can help you file the proper paperwork and prepare you for your immigration interview. You can give us a call at 1-800-529-5465 or internationally 212-227-3636. I think we got everything sorted out. Let's go back to our meat and potatoes. Let's do it. All right. Alan in Texas. Alan. You hear me, Alan? Alan, do you hear me? Alan, do you hear me?
Hello?
Alan, do you hear me? Alan. Maybe we don't have it sorted out.
Hello?
Alan, do you hear me? Alan? Alan, you don't hear me.
Hello?
Hello, Alan, do you hear me? Alan? Alan? Yeah, Jill, there's another stream that you have to unmute.
Hello?
Hi, Alan. Hold on one second.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we're not getting it right now. All right. I don't know why we're not getting it. Very frustrating. Let's try one more time. John in the Bronx, do you hear me?
I don't know.
John in the Bronx, do you hear me?
Hello?
John, do you hear me? John, do you hear me now?
Hello?
John, do you hear me?
Do you hear me? I can hear you on the phone.
You can't hear me on the phone. All right. All right, so I'm only going to be answering your questions in the comment section today. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take your calls. I apologize. I don't know what is wrong, but something is wrong. We'll get it fixed for next week. Let's go answer your questions in the comment section. Next to G, may apply for citizenship with 4 years of marriage to a U.S. citizen, but in process, remove my green card condition. May apply for U.S. citizenship with 4 years of marriage to a U.S. citizen, but in process to remove my green card condition. You can apply for your citizenship if you've had permanent residence for more than 3 years. It has nothing to do with your with your length of marriage. It has to do with how long have you had a green card. All right, let's go to our VIP questions from Brad Squad Facebook page, which, by the way, Facebook is down. What a disaster of a show we have right now. Tiabua Toure says, hey, Brad, I'm a child of a U.S. citizen. I am under 21. I have a pending I-130 visa petition and have responded to an RFE since December 2022, and my case status changed to actively reviewing on January 19th, 2023. Since then, nothing has changed. Is this normal? I have a pending I-130, responded to an RFE. It's not normal that I don't know what the RFE is. Depends what was in the RFE. So if it was an RFE, I would need to know more, but it's not normal. It's usually not normal that a case would be pending for more than a year, but it also depends on who filed for you. So I need to know a lot more information. But generally, I mean, you know the answer. If you responded to an RFE over a year ago, yeah, it's not good that they haven't responded yet, but we don't know who filed for you, and we don't know what they were asking for. So I need to know more information. Radhika Pendergrass asks, hi, Brad. My mom petitioned for my little sister who's about to turn 21 in February of next year. We're currently waiting on her interview date from the embassy in Kingston. And even though we're far away from her birthday, I'm concerned that if her birthday comes before her interview date, she will no longer be considered a priority. Can you please explain what will happen if she turns 21? It depends. I don't know if your mom's a U.S. citizen or mom is a permanent resident. If your mom is a U.S. citizen, nothing will happen when she turns 21. If your mom's a permanent resident when she turns 21, she likely will fall into the F2B category unless she is protected under Child Status Protection Act, which I wouldn't know unless I saw the I-130 visa petition. Also need to know more information. Ramar Watts with a question on our Facebook VIP. Hi, Watts. Can you obtain a green card without marriage? If yes, what's the process? Well, you can get a green card through job sponsorship. You can get a green card through investments. You can get a green card through being a victim of a crime or abused spouse. Get a green card through visa lottery. There's books and books and books about the process. You need a consultation. Nina Sky with a VIP question says, hi, Brad. Thank you for your continued assistance. I'm documentarily qualified from February 22 in the F1 category. I'm located in Jamaica. Is there anything I can do to expedite the process? Also, does my priority date bear any significance? Yes, your priority date bears significance. It's May 9th, 2016. They're up to 2015. So there's nothing you can do until the priority date is reached. Jamil Khan with a VIP question. Hi, Brad. I'm waiting for my humanitarian reinstatement. I'm an F1 and I got married. So what will the process be like? How will it take how long will it take for my process from Pakistan? I filed for reinstatement in January 2021. Well, if you did reinstatement and you were in the F1 and now got married, you're in the F3 category. And humanitarian reinstatement means that your petitioning parent passed away. So you're going to fall back to the F3 category, and assuming you have a relative substitute in, your priority dates are being processed in F3 category in 2008. So it depends on when your deceased mom or dad filed for you. That will depend on when you get your green card. Caroline Campbell with a VIP Facebook question. Hi, Brad. A friend of mine was married in Jamaica. A few years later, she thought she was divorced based on separation. Her then husband filed, so she then got married to someone else. After she found out she was not divorced from her first husband, and she went and filed for divorce. The question is, what should she do now concerning the second marriage, since she would like to get married again? P.S. She has not been with her second husband for many years. I would get an annulment. I would have the second marriage annulled and declared void by a judge because she wasn't free to marry. And then you would marry the third person and you'd be considered married twice. And last VIP question comes from Shay Shay. Hi, Brad. I'm married to a green card holder. I'm in the United States on a visitor's visa. My I-94 expires on September 30th. Can I stay in the U.S. while my applications are processing if I submit them before my I-94 expires? I'm a green card holder. I'm in the United States on a visitor's visa. My I-94 expires on September 30th. Can I stay in the U.S. while my applications are processing? The answer is yes. If you're married to a green card holder, you need to file an adjustment, not an I-130, but an adjustment application before September 30th, and then you can stay in the United States and you'd get a work permit and your green card in the U.S. So you have to file the adjustment, not just an I-130. So let's make sure that we know what applications you're referring to. All right, let's go to our questions in the comments section. Tay Solomon asks, Uncle Brad, my mother is at Jamaica. Every time she tries to get a visa, she's denied. How can we get her a visa? Because I can't file for her yet. Well, I don't know what she's putting on her visa application, but if you just keep asking for a visa and you do the same thing over and over again, it's going to get denied. So wait until you're a citizen and file for her. I don't have the answer. You got to prove that she intends to return back to her home country. And obviously she's having a hard time doing that. But I don't know what you're putting in the application. I don't know what she's got going for her. Natal Picks, what happens when someone applies for an I-130 and I-45 and then travels outside the USA without advanced parole and plans to come back with a B1, B2 visa? They won't be able to come back with a B1, B2 visa because the B1, B2 visa is a visa to come for non-immigrant intent. You've already shown immigrant intent by filing an I-130 and I-45, and they left the United States without advanced parole, so that denies the I-485, and you just have to wait for the process, the I-130 at your home country. If you try to come on a B1, B2, you'll likely be deported at the airport. Willie Raymond, hi Brad, it's Gene. How many times I can get my passport stamped to work and travel, and can I do that, please? I don't know. Why do you qualify to get your passport stamped? I'm not sure what you're asking. Kevin, does an F1 student need to maintain their status until they get their green card if they file through a green card holder spouse? Yes, they do. An F1 student needs to maintain their status until the green card holder spouse files an I-130 and that F1 student files an adjustment of status application. Then they don't have to maintain their status anymore. TG, Brad, I applied for an I-360 VAWA in February 2023, and I just did my biometrics on July 5th. Is this good? Well, yeah, if you're taking your biometrics, that means your case is processing along. Sophia Gray, how long does it take to get your 10-year filed from 2021 and in 2022? I need more proof, and every time I check in 2023, it still says it's pending. Are you talking about the I-751 to remove the conditions? They're taking about 3-4 years these days. Vinny, question 1. My son is aging out at 21 this November 2023, and he scheduled the visa interview on the 5th of September. His I-797 date is November 5th. Will it be an issue to grant an H-4 visa only for 2 months? No, he'll get an H-4 for 2 months. Question number 2, he's also scheduled his tourist visa on September 20th from Canada. Will he get a tourist visa while his I-797 says expiring date is May 5th? Whether he gets a tourist visa, I don't know, but he'll definitely get the H-4. Mohammed Ellenhaas, Brad, and the reason I don't know is, does he qualify for a tourist visa? I have no idea. Mohammed Ellenhaas asks, Brad, it's been 42 days and USCIS didn't send me a decision yet after receiving my RFE medicals based on approved asylum. If 120 days passed and no decision, can I sue them? I applied for a green card in 2002. Brad, it's 42 days and USCIS did not send me a decision yet after receiving my RFE medical based on approved asylum. No, you can't sue them after 120 days, Mohammed. You got to wait at least a year. Wait it out. Calm down. You'll get it. Oh, 2022. Not two. Okay. You applied in 2022, but you just got the RFE 42 days ago. You just got to wait it out. Herbert Pitt, can my green card mother adjust status of her child over 21 if they're already in the United States? No, because the children are put on a waiting list for a green card, and it will take several years, 7, 8, 9 years before their priority dates are current. Pim Pim, hey, Sir Brad. My fiance of 8 years moved to the United States and got his green card via mom 3 months ago. I'm in the United States in status and we're getting married. Can we adjust without his taxes and use another person? The answer is yes. You can use, he would have to sign an affidavit of support. You can use a second affidavit of support, and you have to file your adjustment while you're in status. Victoria asks, hi, Uncle Brad. I'm currently in the U.S. and I would love to ask if I would get a work authorization travel parole if my sibling, who is a U.S. citizen, files for me. The answer is no, because siblings are on a waiting list and it takes a long time, like 15 years. Polo Wilson asks, when a citizen files for his wife and stepson, how long will it take? Depends where the wife and stepson are. If you're adjusting your status, it could be 5 months. You heard from Larry. It could be a year. If you're in another country, it depends what country you're in. It could be a year and a half, 2 years, 2.5 years, depending on your country. Ayatollah asks, hello, Brad. Question. I have a friend who asks, he has his work permit combo. Who will employ him without his social security number? He needs a social security number. You can't work without one. And you can get it if you have your EAD combo card. Katie asks, hi, Brad. If I was in a common law marriage when I was in Jamaica, it was put place on my work visa application. I am now married in the U.S. I filed vows approved. Can this turn be as a misrepresentation? Well, if you claimed you were married to get your visa, it could be a misrepresentation. Depends what was put on that application. If you said you were in a common law marriage, hopefully it was listed as common law marriage, and then hopefully it wouldn't be a misrepresentation. Yuli Millwood asks, hi, Brad, I'm living in an apartment and every year we pay our rent, but we do not have Hi, Brad, I'm living in an apartment and every year we pay our rent, but we do not have any lease. Can that be a problem to us later in life if we are to move to another apartment? What, in terms of getting an apartment? I don't think it's going to matter as long as you can prove that you can pay your rent. John Million, good evening. I've been married to my U.S. citizen wife since December. What does it mean that they said that their waiting time cut less or we could be more? What? I don't know what you're asking, John Million. Paula Campbell, good evening, Brad. My husband filed for me in 2016. He became a citizen in 2020. How long will it take for my medical? I don't know, Paula. I didn't file for you. Where are you? What country are you in? Are you filing an adjustment? Did your husband properly file all the paperwork? I have no idea where you are processing. Just seems like you've been processing a long time and you need a lawyer since 2016. Even if your husband became a citizen in 2020, sounds like you need a lawyer. That's my answer, because you're waiting too long. Robert, hi, Brad. Do you know anything about the dignity plan? I know that they want to pass a lot of different laws. One of them is the dignity plan. I doubt anything will pass, though, so it's not worth reading up on. If and when something looks like it will pass, trust me, I'll read up on it. Loretta Wilson, good day. Is it true that if you have a child during a visitor's visa, that child cannot sponsor his parents until the hospital bill is paid? My son was born that way. No. But it is true that your son can't sponsor you until you're 20, till he's 21 years old. And you'll either have the hospital bill paid by then or it'll be written off. Corn Chowan asks, hi, I'm here in Birmingham on a J1 visa, sponsored by University of Alabama. My case is my sponsor terminated my visa. How does J1 visa termination affect filing for a change of status after getting married to a U.S. citizen? What do I need to figure out now? How do I change my status from a J1? Well, if you're out of status, but you entered on a legal visa, you can adjust your status to marriage to a U.S. citizen. Hopefully you don't have a 2-year home residence requirement and you don't need a waiver for that. But otherwise, if you have overstayed your visa was terminated, as long as you made a legal entry, you're married to a U.S. citizen, go for it, file your adjustment. Vivian, good day, Brad. I filed for my husband who was in Jamaica in 2020, and they said they received everything. Can you please tell me how long for the interview or what's the next step? Who received everything? I don't know what that means. I have no idea what step you're at. Did USCIS receive everything? Did the NVC receive everything? Ramar Watts, how do I obtain a green card without marriage? Serious? Job, family, investments, visa, lottery, asylum, or victim of a crime. I've now listed every way to get a green card. Dawn Fisher, hi, Uncle Brad. My daughter is in CAT F2B, but priority date has been September 2015 for a while. Category F2B. Got it. I'm like, what's CAT F2B? Category F2B. But priority date has been September 2015 for a long time. Her priority date is October 9th, 2015. She has been documentally qualified for 3 years. Got to wait for that priority date to reach, unfortunately. Yeah, she's right at that edge. Nordia Rankine, my daughter has a friend whose father sent her to Jamaica and without her green card, which he held from her, and she's asking, is there a way she can come back? How long has she been out of the U.S. is the question. And how old was she when she left? And how old is she now? I would need to know that information. Mike J, hi, I came here since 1993. My problem is I came here with another passport with my picture and my name. And I have 2 kids born here. My son is 27, who filed the paperwork I received my I-130. Hi, I came here since 1993. My problem is I came here with another passport with my picture and my name. And I have 2 kids born here. My son is 27. No, you came on a fake document, so you have a misrepresentation issue. So you would need a waiver, and you can only get a waiver through a spouse or a parent. Hi, Brad, can you get a green card iwi after 21 years? Maybe. If you entered without inspection 21 years ago, it's possible you can get a green card. I don't know. Perhaps you need a consultation. Hey, Brad, if I don't add my child born here in the U.S. to my adjustment of status case, will USCIS find out my brother's wife had an affair and gave birth to an illegitimate child while adding the child ruined the case? Well, USCIS may find out. And if they do, then they're going to really think something's up. And having an illegitimate child certainly doesn't help prove that it's a bona fide marriage, but I think lying and immigration finding out about this child is even worse. So I think your brother needs a consultation. I wouldn't be doing that case on my own without a lawyer. Last, Mupandi. I'm getting a U.S. citizen. I entered the U.S. through the Mexican border. My fiance's stepfather is a former military. Is that going to help me to adjust my status through the marriage? Your fiance's stepfather, so that would be your father-in-law. You may be eligible for parole in place. I'm not sure if it goes all the way to father-in-laws, though. I don't think so. I think it would have to be your father, not your father-in-law, but I'll double check on that law. Zaid Osama, hey, Brad, can a J1 visa extended with pending I-485? And I have a sensitive question regarding I-130 need to discuss with you. All right, so call me. G. Martin, my father filed an I-130 for my brother in February 2019, currently in F3 status and hoping to get a USCIS decision from Texas Service Center by August 2023. Can my father's cancer diagnosis be used to expedite? Yes, it can. Sadly, but yes, it can. Kevin, can you send all the forms, the I-130, the I-130A, all of them, if your spouse is a green card holder and not a U.S. citizen? Only if you're in legal status. If you're out of status, you got to wait for her to become a citizen. Blessing Vincent, hi, Brad. I need help. My husband left 3 years ago, and his current location is unknown. Can she get a divorce? There's ways to divorce spouses where you don't know where they are. It's called publication divorce. But speak to your local family court lawyer. Robert, hi, Brad. I have a baby born in the U.S. I'm on an H-2B in New York City. Doesn't mean I have to leave the country or stay and file for green card. Having a baby born in the U.S. does not entitle you to stay and file for your green card, unfortunately. Michelle, hello, Brad. Can you tell me what is wrong? Why can I get a visa? My dad filed for me, but he died. Well, if your dad filed for you and he died, then you need a family member to substitute in on a humanitarian waiver. And the reason you can't get a visa is because your dad filed for you, so you've shown an intent to get a green card and probably don't have enough ties to your home country to overcome the presumption that you're going to come live in the United States of America and not go home. Typical immigrant says, hey, how do you use a prima facie? My lawyer has not been much help, and I have no EAD or progress in VAWA case for 761 days. Well, if you filed a VAWA and you don't have a work permit in 761 days, it's probably because you didn't file an adjustment application. File an adjustment application, you'll get your work permit. Prima facie is just to get government benefits. Humble asks, hi, Brad. I'm a permanent resident who filed for my adult unmarried daughter and his 2 kids to come to the U.S. from Jamaica. My daughter is now pregnant. Again, how will that affect the case? The case is currently at the Visa Center in Kingston, Jamaica, waiting a priority date. Well, when the child is born, you're going to have to notify the National Visa Center there's another child, add that child to your daughter's case, and then they would process one more child. So you contact an NVC and send a copy of the child's birth certificate. We got one more to add. Cabelta says, hi, Brad. How can I petition for my adopted? Since her birth, her mom away, and I'm the one sending funds. I've taken care. I'm the real mother. Did you adopt this child? Did you live with this child in the same home for 2 years? I need to know more information. O'Toole says, hi, Brad. Please, I want to know if a son that is in the military filed for me, but not yet 31 years old. I guess not yet 21 years old. Yeah, your son has to be 21 even if in the military. Olu Kemi, I filed for my son as a green card holder. His case is still pending, and he got a student visa in August 2022. He's in the United States now, and his I-130 was approved after he got into this country. Can I file an I-485 for him? He did not attend the college. He's in high school now. He just turned 19. If he's in legal status and you have an approved I-130 for him, yes, he can file his adjustment of status application. Dennis Johnson, hi, Brad. My wife filed for me in 2020 in the NVC. It has all the documents. I'm in Jamaica waiting on my interview. How much longer shall I wait? I don't know. I don't know enough about your case. Maria Rezande, I'm not the government, so I don't know what your case is. I have no access to knowledge of your case, so I can't tell you the day you're going to get an interview. Mariah Rezende, hi, Brad. I got my conditional green card through marriage, and I divorced 6 months later. Then later on, I remarried someone else, also a citizen. How do I remove the conditions? You have to make an application, I-751, show your divorce decree, and show proof that you and your spouse were in a bona fide marriage up until the time you started the divorce. Richard, hi, Brad. I got DQ'd through marriage to a U.S. citizen in January of 2023. What's a reasonable estimated time frame to receive an interview for myself and kids? I don't know what country you're in, but let's about a year, January 2024. Let's see, we got 3 more. Hamda, I answered that question already. Loretta, thanks, Brad, for answering my question. My son is 23 and lives in San Francisco. What form does he have to use to petition for his mom, and does he need a co-sponsor? It's an I-485, I-130, assuming you're in the United States. If you're not in the United States, it's an I-130. If you're in the U.S., you can file an I-130, I-45, I-765, I-131, I-864. I don't know if he needs a co-sponsor. It depends on how much money he earns and how many dependents on his tax returns. Jolie asks, hi, Brad. My previous passport that's submitted to USCIS expires this December, but now I have a new one. Should I update my new passport to USCIS or just wait till they notice me? Just wait till they send you a notice. You don't have to update anything. All right. Colleen, hi, Brad. If you're convicted of a felony, can you get a citizenship? Depends what the felony was for. Depends when it was for and when it happened. And Gerard Starvera asks, hi, Brad. How long can you travel before you file for citizenship? No trip more than 6 months out of the country. You have to be physically in the United States more than out of the U.S. So you have to be physically in the U.S. for citizenship 2.5 out of 5 years, no trip more than 6 months in that 5-year period. All right, so that is our social media check-in. And we kind of went out of order right now. So I guess the only thing left to do is speed round. Let's do it. All right, we're ready for speed round. On my count, speed round today is July 10th, 2023. We're ready for speed round now. Let's do it. How many master hearings are there in an immigration court case? As many as the judge wants. What is a travel document? It's called an advance parole to travel back and forth. Can you submit an I-45 to adjust status while the I-130 petition is processing? Depends who filed for you. If someone voted on a green card, can they apply for citizenship? It depends where they voted, what election they voted for, and whether they claimed U.S. citizenship. 5, can you be deported for driving under the influence of marijuana? Yes, perhaps. 6, can I apply for admission after being deported past 20 years as an aggravated felon? You would need a family member to file for you. How do I get a waiver? You got to file for it. Can I travel to Canada with a green card and Jamaican passport? No, you need a Canadian visa. How long does it take for a child to sponsor parents? A child can't. You have to be over 21, and I blew up. It's part of the day. Can I get a social security number on a B1 visa? No. There you have it. All right. Comments of the day. We have comments of the day. Let's do it. All right. Comments of the day. It's that time of the day to stop what you're doing and tune in. Family show of the day. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Very nice job, Al. Next comment of the day, Cynthia Wallace. Brad, persons will do anything for you. You've helped so many of us. Thank you, Brad. Oh, thank you very much. Third comment of the day. Sophia Gray, Uncle Brad, you are the best. Bless up. Thank you, Sophia. The last comment of the day is Diane Reed. Come on, all squatties here on the live. Let's show up the showman. Share up the showman. Uncle Brad's show is needed for each and every one, whether near or far. Thank you very much, Diane Reed. I appreciate all of, oh, we have one more. Extra one. Tanisha Brown saying, hey, Brad, thanks for you and your law firm for helping me. I got my green card last week after ended up in deportation. Thanks a lot. All right. That's a good one to end on. That is a good one to end on. All right. Well, I'm very sorry about our technical difficulties. We'll get it all sorted out for next week. I am sure by next week I'll be able to speak to everybody on the phone. Have a great weekend. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you on Monday. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And visit us now at our Connecticut office, 221 Main Street, Suite 501, Hartford, Connecticut. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465.